This $15,000 classical guitar is necessary to play at the highest level. But how does it compare to this $500 electric guitar? Welcome, gentle people. If you're new here, I'm Mason Lemieux. I've been playing guitar for over 20 years and have 2 degrees in guitar performance. I've played and worked on guitars from $50 all the way to $15,000 guitars, like this one here. This is a custom-made classical guitar made by Michael and Alec O'Leary in Ireland. It's not cheap, but some of the best classical players in the world play a guitar made by the O'Learys. So what's so special about this, and why would anybody need a guitar that costs this much money? The O'Learys spend a whole month working on this one guitar. Everything on this guitar is meticulously built. The design allows for a lot of projection on stage. For rock players or any kind of more popular music styles than classical, you usually have some kind of amplification, but classical guitars don't typically have those. So you need a guitar that really is loud, projects well, and sounds nice and clear and has great tone all throughout the ranges of low, mid-range, high end on the guitar. To get something like that, you need a true expert builder. That's where the O'Learys come in. They're incredible builders. They've also had great input from all of these amazing classical guitarists. There's just no way that you can find a classical guitar that sounds and feels as good as this one does for under that $10,000 price range. Maybe if you get really lucky, you could find a used one for cheaper, but it's not very common. But do you need a guitar that's this expensive if you're playing rock? Absolutely not. This $500 electric guitar can basically do anything that a $10,000 electric guitar can do. Of course, if you spend a lot of money on an electric guitar, there will be some benefits, and those can actually be felt. But for the most part, the sound of this guitar is coming from these pickups here. And yes, there are other factors that contribute to that, but the sound of your amp, the type of strings you have on the guitar, and the quality of the pickups are going to be the main driver of the sound. The sound that you're actually capturing could benefit a lot from creative methods of recording. The same thing goes for being on stage. If you're going to plug into an amplifier or have some kind of effect, the sound, the original tone of an electric guitar could be diminished greatly. Something that you do have to take into consideration though is how well your guitar is set up. Because a poorly set up guitar is not going to feel good, and you're not going to be able to play at your best that way. So make sure that your guitar is nice and clean, you have a well-oiled fingerboard, the string height is adjusted properly, and the intonation is good. These are all really important things for making a guitar sound at its best. So if all you need is a cheap electric guitar, then why do people actually play expensive electric guitars? It's true that most of the sound that you hear coming from a guitar comes from the player themselves. So then why do guitarists spend so much money on electric guitars when they're really the ones who are contributing the most to making that sound? The easier it is to play the guitar, the more comfortable you feel playing the guitar, the better you can sound. And those little incremental gains actually can do a lot on a whole album, playing a whole live show. It's amazing how just a little difference on a guitar, maybe a little bit more sustain, can actually allow the player to be way more creative. So even though you can get great sounds that can be heard by the whole world on very cheap instruments, there's still a lot of benefit for playing expensive instruments as well. So my suggestion is, go play as many guitars as you can. When you do find one that you like, make sure it's set up perfectly. Then when you can afford something nicer, if it sounds better than the one you have, then go buy it. If you can't afford that expensive instrument right now, the best way to make your guitar sound better is by practicing. So I would highly recommend that you find a great instructor near you. For now, I'm also offering guitar lessons online. If you want to sign up for a private lesson, I have a link in my profile. I've taught people from beginner all the way to advanced. I'd be happy to help you out and help you get to the next level in your playing. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.